You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, welcome to episode 308 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey gang, Shawn.
Leah.
How's everybody doing out there in podcast land?
It's a nice day today.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very sunny.
Uh-huh.
It is.
Unfortunately, we can't go out and enjoy it.
Why is that?
Because we're renovating a bathroom.
Whose idea was this?
I think it was mine.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been planning this bathroom renovation for years, actually, a couple of years. When you and I first met, I told you everything that was going to be done to the bathroom.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on this week's episode of Soul Forge, dear listeners, we've got some updates and what have we been doing and that kind of stuff. So this week, as we're recording this, it's, what's today? Saturday, December the 2nd.
Yes.
I don't know when this is coming out. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Depends on life stuff. But anyway,
Yes.
Last Sunday, I went for a road trip.
You did.
I did. Where did I go?
Timmins.
I went to Timmins, Ontario, Canada. You remember, the land that culture forgot. Because on Monday I had a doctor's appointment because, well, we live in Sault Ste. Marie and Timmins is about 5.5 hours away. And I lived there for 19 years for anybody who's new to the podcast.
Right.
And it's impossible to get a doctor anywhere, so I have my Timmins doctor.
Yeah, don't let go of that doctor.
No, I can't. Because, and I think I've mentioned this before, I've been on crazy pills.
Yes, you have.
Well, no. Pills to regulate my mood, I guess?
Yes.
I don't even know what they're called. Let's see what they got. I've got them right here beside me. You're a nurse. Tell me what that says.
Acetalopram. Yeah.
Something.
That.
Okay. Anyway, 10 milligrams.
Yep.
And I've been on it, this coming February will be 2 years. Mm-hmm. And so I went to the doctor to renew the prescription because apparently you can't do phone consults anymore because COVID's over.
Right.
So went up there and actually took my boy with me because he'll be 18 this coming week. And
Yes.
I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast before, but hemochromatosis runs in the family.
Yeah.
And that's basically too much iron in the liver and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
My brother has it. He's got the severe form. I've got the mild form.
Right.
My dad doesn't have it, but my uncle does. So 10 or so years ago, when I got diagnosed, the doctor said, well, when your son turns 18, time to get him checked out.
Right.
So took him along. We got our blood work. I haven't got the results yet. It was his first time getting blood taken. And he's got smaller veins than I do, so it took 2 nurses to do it.
Oh my, that
Yeah.
must have been painful.
Yeah, he was grinding his teeth.
I'm sure.
But anyway, the fact is, I got to see my boy. I got my blood test. I got my pills reduced from 10 milligrams to 5.
Yes.
And we're going to reassess in 3 more months.
Maybe that means you're happy.
That could be.
All by yourself.
All by myself. Maybe it's because I moved here. Maybe it's because of you. Maybe it's because of the pills. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know I'm happier here in the Sioux than in Timmins.
Good.
So anyway, did a road trip. Went up there Sunday. Saw a rabbit. A white rabbit.
That's right. You said that. Yes.
He or she was hopping down the highway coming towards me on the opposite side, just like a regular vehicle would be in that lane.
Right.
So that was cool.
Nice.
And I hardly ever see animals when I'm road tripping.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So spent Sunday night and Monday night in Timmins. Got to see my boy. Got to see my buddy Renee. What else did I do? Stayed with Heather and Johan. It was good to see them. Had some fondue. And, my building sold. I think I mentioned that in last week's episode. So I had to clear it out because the tenants left a disaster of a mess.
Yeah.
They left 6 shopping bags full of food.
Yes.
So I brought that to Brother Robin because he's always poor and never has any money.
That's right.
So he was happy about that.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, as I left, I stopped in Iroquois Falls to visit my friend Irene.
Yes.
Hadn't seen her for a while. She and I worked at the post office years and years ago. We were in the same training crew. And when things were going south with me and Trish, and things were going south with her and her husband, we commiserated with each other and were our sounding boards.
That's nice. It's nice to have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, she's like an older sister or an aunt or something.
That's great.
So that was good. So we visited for about an hour, and then I decided, I got to go to Mattawa, which is just outside of North Bay, because my buddy Frank collected 2,000 VHS tapes for me for when I was going to start a business in that building that I sold.
Right.
So last summer, I think I took half of them. And so this time I took the GPS. And normally I go through North Bay, but I said, well, let's do the GPS and see what it has to say. Took me through Quebec.
Right.
And all these weird random roads.
You were very surprised that you ended up going through Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very random. I think it cut off about 45 minutes. But it was different.
How was your trip to Quebec?
I saw a bobcat.
Yes, you were saying.
He crossed the road, went into the other side on the sidewalk, or not the sidewalk, the side of the road, looked back at me and hissed.
Right. Because
So-
you interrupted him.
Yes. Yeah. So a rabbit and a bobcat. That's all I saw this trip. But stayed at Frank's house Tuesday night, hung out with him and his wife Martha.
Why did you say that name? Martha, why did you say that name?
Went to Costco the next day.
Yes, I was supposed to come home Thursday, but you're like, come home early. Apparently you missed me.
Of course.
So I left Wednesday morning, stopped in North Bay, visited my friend Gail, and Wayne was sleeping because he was up all night doing D&D stuff with his crew. So Gail I know from my Teletech days when I worked at the call center in North Bay.
Yes, the old call center.
Yep, so that was a good visit for about an hour, caught up and all that kind of stuff. Then drove to Sudbury, stopped in Costco. It was the fastest Costco trip I'd ever taken.
Probably the cheapest too, because you only spent under $300.
Yes, I did. But I got enough supplies for all the stuff.
Yes.
Oh, when I was in North Bay and in Sudbury, I stopped at the Pegs to check the Hot Wheels situation.
Yes.
At each store, there was already an old man there checking the pegs.
Oh,
So
very nice.
We chatted. And then I got home.
Is it the same old man and the same?
No, it wasn't. It was two different old men.
Two different old men.
Yeah,
Okay.
one had a big beard and the other one had no teeth.
And they collect Hot Wheels.
They collect Hot Wheels.
Nice.
Yep. So.
Did they tell you about their collections?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course.
Anything interesting that they collect versus what you collect?
Not that I recall.
No.
No.
So it wasn't that memorable.
It wasn't that memorable.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to get out of there because I wanted to come home.
Of course.
Yep. I had to see you.
Of course.
What time did I get home on Wednesday?
Oh, it was in the evening. It was dark out, so 6, 7-ish.
Oh, yeah.
around there.
Yeah, around 6:30.
PM. Yeah.
7 o'clock. Yeah. So that was that. And then you were doing bathroom renovations the entire time.
I was.
How did that go?
It went...
Not as well as expected?
It went. Let's put it that way. No, I wouldn't say not as well as expected, because we had, as anybody who is, fans of your TikTok channel as well, the Rusted Robot on TikTok, you showed the little tiles that we had to take down off of the
Yes.
shower area. And it was quite the task. That was quite the task. Lots of dust, and it was just very dusty and dirty. And of course, when it's the only bathroom in your home and the only shower in your home, you got to go and shower somewhere else. So I did end up having to go to the YMCA a couple of times during this process. We're hoping that we won't have to anymore. Hopefully we can have the shower up and running by either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow at least. But because it's just, it was a big job to take all these down. And
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy who had done it just put regular drywall behind it.
Previously,
And
yeah.
So it was all rotted.
Well, I think he put the mold resistant drywall, which is what he should have done, but he missed a couple of steps. So he missed putting the membrane on it, the like waterproof membrane that helps seal everything.
Yes.
And he also, I don't think I think it was just done to get it done.
Looked about right. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. So yesterday, we put on the concrete board.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job doing
Why,
it.
thank you. I measured 3 or 4 times and only cut once, and it went up perfectly, and I didn't have to curse at all.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after I put that up, I put on the red guard or the aqua seal.
Yes.
Went on pink, and it dried off red.
Yes.
And today we do the tiles.
Today we tile.
But first, we're podcasting in the morning because we've been meaning to podcast the last few days, and we've just been exhausted.
We have been exhausted. And, you know, when you do a bathroom renovation like what we're doing, unfortunately, you end up using muscles that you probably don't even remember you had.
That's right.
So, and while you were doing a fabulous job of getting the the cement board up, which is what should be done. However, prior to that, my son Wyatt and his boss, Warren, came and did a fantastic job insulating.
And putting the vapor barrier up.
Yes.
Yes. Well, and you painted.
Yes, and I did some painting. I did some flooring because we had an area where we had this giant vanity. And it didn't seem like they did the floor underneath it. They just kind of put the vanity over top and was done, right?
And then we did tiles around it.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a spot where it's about what, 1.5 inches lower than everything else.
Yes, I would say about 1.5 inches. Yeah. So I had to fill that up
with wood, and then we're going to put the vanity that you built in there.
Yes, I built a beautiful vanity, and we'll show pictures on the Facebook page once it gets in. So today the plan is to get you set up, started tiling, and then I'm gonna
Finish painting.
So the area where the vanity is gonna go is already done. So I'd like to start on the flooring, get the flooring in on that spot,
Yeah.
so that I can get the vanity in.
Smart.
Yeah, yeah. Any painting that I'm finishing, I can throw a sheet over top of it, and
That's right.
yeah, and finish my painting at that point. But the area where that's going in is done. The other problem is, of course, all our lighting source in that room comes from one area, which is the mirror that was
Slash medicine
above.
chest.
Yeah,
So we got to take that down.
that has to come down at some point and put in the new light. But I'd like to try to do that at last, if possible.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have we learned from bathroom renos? It takes 3 times as long as you think.
If you do it yourself, absolutely. Yeah.
But think of the money we're saving.
Well, you know, right now we're coming in at about 2,500. I'd say by the time we're done with this, because we're not finished yet purchasing a few things. We still have a few things left to purchase.
Well, yeah.
Piping for the
Vanity.
and all of that. So I would say it'll cost about $3,000 by the time we're done.
Well, that's still better than 10 to 15, which is what you're supposed to budget if you get a contractor to do it. So that's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what have we talked about so far? We talked about bathroom renos and my great Northern Ontario Circle tour, visiting and traveling and picking up 1,000 VHS tapes.
Should we talk about our future vacations? We did book a future vacation.
Let's do that right after this message for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
Excellent.
Pardon the interruption. We'll bring you back to your podcast in just a moment. But first, a promo for the Cosmic Pizza Podcast.
In the Cosmic Pizza Podcast, your pizza delivery guys, Dan, Sean, and Paul, serve you a slice of life.
As we discuss literally anything in the universe.
Conspiracy theories?
Movies that we've liked. Women in comedy, voice actors, film directors and producers, authors. But what we don't talk about is pizzas.
Wednesday, I'm here with you people. It's wild.
Okay, so we're back. And where are we going?
We're going on a cruise.
We are going on a cruise.
Yes.
This coming March.
March.
We had a week off.
Yeah.
So
We had to fill the vacation time.
we did.
Yeah.
And where did you book us?
So we are going on a Disney cruise. And we are going to the ports, you mean, that we're stopping in? Is that what you're asking?
What's the boat's name?
The Disney Dream.
The Dream.
We're going to board the fabulous Disney Dream in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we are going to sail to the fabulous Grand Cayman Islands.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes. And also Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island in the Bahamas.
Oh, nice.
Before we return to Fort Lauderdale, of course. And we will definitely catch up everyone on all of our fun times during that time.
Of course, we'll probably TikTok it too.
Yeah.
Yes, TikTok it and podcast about it and take pictures for the Soulforge Facebook page. All that good stuff. And I always said I wanted to travel, and I never really did much. And then I met you, and we've already been to Florida. We're going to be on a cruise, which I've never done.
Yes.
And you've been on a cruise several times.
I have cruised a couple of times in my life. Yes, absolutely. I love cruising. And the reason I love cruising is because you can see so many places in one trip.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's other news.
Yes, big news.
Let's talk about our engagement, which we're announcing for the first time here on the podcast.
Yes, we are engaged.
But we've had quite the adventure with the ring.
Yes.
Tell the listeners about the ring debacle.
Oh, you want me to get into it? Okay.
Yeah, because...
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so we set out on this adventure of getting engaged, and it was a beautiful proposal. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Very nice. Something I always wanted, and we'll post the photo on the Facebook page. So everyone remembers last September when we were in Disney.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, we got engaged.
We did. I proposed in front of the castle.
In front of Cinderella's castle, which was one of my very, very all-time wanted, for sure. So I got that wish. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And so when we came back, we decided to go ring hunting, of course, because the ring that you gave me was...
Just a temporary
yeah,
thing.
it was a temporary thing.
I wanted to pick it out with you.
Of course, yeah. In picking out this ring, we decided to go somewhere downtown in the mall here in Sault Ste. Marie, and we picked out a nice ring. And we got your ring as well.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
and there's the cat.
He's got a hairball.
He's got a hairball. You're okay, buddy. Wouldn't be a podcast without an animal making a weird noise.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. So
anyway, we went to Charm Diamond Centers.
Yes.
Which we would not recommend to anybody.
At this time, no, I would not. Today, I have a ring on my hand, and it is a temporary one. It is the ring that we purchased. However, it is a temporary the ring.
Because when we purchased said bridal set for you,
yes,
they said 6 to 8 weeks for it to come in because they only have size 7s in the store, and you need a size 9.
Yes, so they originally actually said 4 to 6.
Did they?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they said 6 to 8.
Okay.
And this coming Tuesday, it's now 10 weeks.
Right.
Yes, and I have a temporary ring. So we actually made it all the way to the regional director, who I was on the phone with a couple of times while you were gone. And even they're kind of baffled as to why this ring is not here. So we offered a temporary solution, which was they sent us a ring, whatever ring, it was from wherever, whatever size, but it was the ring, the same sort of style. We have it sized by whoever we want to have it sized by. And then what we're going to do when the ring that we special ordered comes in, we just swap this one out for that one. So yes, the ring on my hand is mine, but it's sort of a copy of mine at this time.
Right, because it's been resized and it's not made in the
proper
the size
mm-hmm.
properly, so there's no structural integrity issues.
Exactly.
But what a pain in the ass.
It's been a whirlwind, and even trying to get somebody just to sort of give us an update was rather frustrating.
Yes.
So yeah. So that's the story.
But the fact of the matter is, we're engaged.
Yes.
And we're getting married in Vegas next May.
Yes. And we're going to put an invite on the page, on the Facebook page.
I'm not sure about that, but maybe
for everyone.
Yeah, if you're in Vegas, May the 4th.
Yes.
Come to.
May the 4th be with you.
That's right, Shawn and Leah instead of Han and Leah.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Right. Oh
yes.
boy.
So that's the news. I'm sure nobody's surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe they are. I don't know.
So we're going to get married at the Little Chapel of the West, I believe it's called.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody who saw the movie Viva Las Vegas with Elvis, that is the chapel featured in that particular movie.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're also going to live stream it on the internet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's part of the deal.
Yes, it is. It's part of the package that we got.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, that's all very exciting.
Yes.
Yes. Now, anybody who's listened to me podcast for the last 10 years know I've had, what would you call it? Ups and downs in relationships.
Your love life has been a roller coaster ride.
It has been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And every time I get into a relationship, I think, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. But this time, I'm serious, guys and girls. This is the real one. And there's going to be no more after this.
Well, you're doing better than I am because anybody who knows me, you would be husband number 3.
Well, you'll be wife number 2. So
yeah,
that's good enough.
Yeah, that's it though. For myself as well, I do have to say, everyone, if after 3 tries I don't get it right, maybe I'm just not meant to be married, and that would be that. But this one is going to last forever.
It frickin' better, because I can't do this again. And even when I was out traveling this week, people who hadn't seen me in a while said, "Oh, you look so happy," and they were all happy for me. And Renee and his wife were thrilled, and they're probably going to come too. And
oh, awesome!
Yeah,
it would be nice to have them.
Yes,
yeah.
So you can finally meet my people.
Yes,
since they're all up in Timmins and North Bay area.
That's right. That's true.
So yeah, I didn't get to see everybody I wanted to in Timmins, but it was a quick trip. So
you'll probably be back. Hopefully, you can make your appointments like spring or summer time.
Yeah, I don't like traveling in the winter, but
I don't like.
I had the week off and I needed to get my pills redone. So there you go. So that's what's been going on around here, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So if you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. But until next time, we hope you take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, invest in curiosity.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.